Hello everyone and welcome to the second winner bracket semi-final in the Intel Extreme Masters Season 2 finals. This time it is the battle of the Europeans between the French human player who's spawning here at the bottom right spawn position of Turtle Rock in red, ToD, and his opponent from the Netherlands, the Orc player in yellow, spawning at the bottom left spawn position of Turtle Rock, Grubby. So close positions here on the first map, which traditionally in this matchup isn't the greatest news for the Orc, but of course Grubby has faced this scenario a large number of times, so we'll see how well he's going to be able to deal with these positions. So far he's going for a completely normal build order, whereas ToD starts with a pretty quick lumber mill, delayed barracks, therefore delayed footman production, but earlier great lumber income and also greater lumber income, during his tech. So he's gonna try to get that tech into production quite quickly. And as I just said, harvest a lot of lumber while the tech is going. IEM is his first hero, Blade Master first for Grubby. And I guess it's pretty difficult to judge who the favorite of this matchup actually is. I mean, if we're just looking at these finals, ToD has basically destroyed all the competition in Group B, hasn't lost a single map thus far in the finals, whereas Grubby, who is right now scouting, whereas ToD hasn't scouted at all, but he knows about the close positions due to the scout PN, whereas Grubby only ended up on rank 2 of Group A and had to go through the relegation against Happy to make it into the top 4 here. But if we're looking at the entire season, both Grubby and ToD were in Group C of the group stage, and that group was won by Grubby, who didn't lose a single best of 3 there, and also won these two players' first encounter in the group stage. So I guess on paper these two players should be pretty evenly matched. ToD is starting with some militia creeping here. The Blade Master is coming in. Grubby has won some nice time by pulling the creeps away from the IEM, who wanted to start creeping. Delayed the initial creep a little bit. Grubby wanted to steal one of the hatchlings here. Didn't get to do so, but he's probably gonna get the last hit onto the main turtle. That's exactly what he's doing. Slippers of Agility are his first item. So Grubby can be satisfied with the first like 2.5 minutes of this match. ToD immediately is heading towards Grubby's main here. Grubby has not started his tech overly quickly here, is getting his shot before and is getting a quick war mill. So is he maybe even expecting a tier 1 tower push? That could of course still be the case. Grubby is going for the IEM here, and ToD is actually pulling a bunch of militia. IEM is taking a huge lot of damage here. Grubby starts blocking some with one of the grunts, and the IEM is extremely low already before a potential push can even start here, but it looks like it's only going to be the human player creeping the turtle camp. Grubby grabbed the item, the Mantle of Intelligence, some more XP on the side of ToD. Grubby did not get the last hit here. Militia now have to retreat as they are about to turn back into peasants. I guess one of them is gonna fall, at least, perhaps even 2. And ToD is under quite a bit of pressure here, as his first hero is already very low on hit points. Tech has started in the meantime. The first of the peasants is falling. Windwalk is used, so this one should be falling as well. Just one more hit required. It looks like ToD may have expected a Farseer here out of Grubby, so because otherwise I'm not really sure why he went for this super quick arcane tower. So it's not like his tech has started all too quickly here. The players pretty much even on tech. ToD is a little bit ahead still, but not by a large amount of time. Pretty quick watchtower started here by Grubby, who's taking a lot of damage on his Blade Master as well. But that one shouldn't be in any serious trouble here, thanks to heal staffs and the burrow assisting the defense. The IEM is cancelling the heal staff though. Tower has been cancelled as well. And well, in the meantime, all of the footmen have run quite low on hit points here. This one should be able to squeeze out into safety as well. Grubby is really doing the best he can to block with the grunt here, but as we can see, the footman is getting into safety for now. But ToD, as I said, has taken a lot of damage on all 3 of these footmen, and currently is not producing any more of them. Keep in mind, footman production has started a little bit later than it could have. So ToD doesn't have the most gigantic army here. And if this shop gets cancelled, then yeah, these guys aren't really going to be providing a lot of utility for ToD with their, you know, about 100 to 150 hit points. Grubby grabs the boots. Most of his units are looking quite healthy. Blade Master is going to go for some more scouting. The grunts, I'm not really sure what he's going to try and do with those. And he finds the human army here going for the kill on one of the footmen. And it looks like he's probably going to be getting it. Arcane Tower is dealing some damage to the Blade Master, who is now completely out of mana. He was able to cancel all of the healing of the Scroll of Regeneration, though ToD has already purchased another one. Grubby is retreating for the time being. Tier 2 tech has, finished, of course, not started. Watchtower has finished as well, so some great assistance in the potential defense of a tier 2 tower push by his opponent, who's adding a Mountain King, who's adding double Arcane Sanctums here, which of course he can easily afford due to the early Lumber Mill. And Grubby, well, he is adding the TC second right now, as well as the Spirit Lodge. He doesn't have the resources for the Beast Reach just yet, since he invested into that tower, into quite a bunch of heal salves, into the War Mill early on, so yeah, doesn't really have the largest amount of gold here currently. But yeah, for the time being, of course, with the only 2 footmen on the field and 2 level 1 heroes, ToD isn't gonna throw a great load of pressure at the orc here, so having the Beast Tree a little bit late seems justified. And Grubby really seems to be afraid of a tower push here. Adding a second watchtower, not adding... Okay, there's the Beast Tree. Was about to say not adding a Beast Tree just yet, but there it comes. TC is now out. A little bit strange by Grubby here. Usually the reason why the TC isn't played against human is because around the time, you know, a little bit after tier 2, there's a great potential for pressure by the human player, and the TC isn't really useful in human versus orc until he reaches level 3. So especially given that he seems to be expecting a lot of pressure here, Grubby going for the TC second seems to be a little bit of a weird decision, but perhaps that's the reason why he's going for this double Arcane Tower, to basically make up for the lack of a Shadow Hunter at this particular timing. So ToD is now heading across the map, building 2 Scout Towers, but I'm not really sure how he's supposed to make any progress here against these 2 Watchtowers, which are beautifully covering basically all the area here in front of the Orc's main base. So Ensnare is coming, a Raider is coming, Blade Master is getting ready, is trying to cancel the tower here. TC, by the way, with Aura first, so no Shockwave just yet. He's going for the cancel on the tower, and I guess he's going to be satisfied with that. Yeah, retreating immediately here. He's got no reason to fight anywhere far away from his double watchtowers, which he invested a lot of resources into. So he's just going to fall back, and looks like ToD is going to do just the same. Given that the Raider production is so delayed, ToD, in my opinion, isn't really under great pressure to make this, well, to finish this game quickly. Another speed scroll used here by Grubby, healing used on the TC again. Grubby just really needs to make sure not to overcommit here into all of these casters, which are going to be able to throw tons of slow at him. But still, it looks like ToD really wants to make this happen. Immediately charging forward here. Okay, charging back again. That seems like it may have been a misclick. Cost him 1 Sorceress here. Now the first Raider is out, and now engaging is going to get even harder for ToD, because as soon as anything gets close to these 2 buildings, or anything, by anything I mean any caster, it's going to get ensnared and taken down by a gigantic load of piercing damage quite quickly. Therefore, ToD, in my opinion, is taking the correct approach. Force back, is creeping some more on his own, pulling some militia again. Perhaps yeah, he wants to try and bait Grubby into giving him a fight right now, but it looks like the orc player is smarter than that, is going for a counter attack, and he should be able to catch at least one of the breakers here, which is exactly what he's doing with the 1 ensnare he's got available currently. ToD, is he gonna get the last hit here? Does use the Blade Master, has to retreat, and Potion of Greater Healing is being picked up by the Mountain King. The one breaker has fallen here, the second one might fall eventually. Grubby decides to go for the shop first. The Blade Master picks up an Invul Potion. Does the TC not have a TP? No, and no speed score, so quite a bit of risk taken here. The Zogs are gonna be able to catch up to this Orc army. There is one Spirit Walker currently. He's got one single disenchant, so that's not really a lot to work with against the large number of slows that are gonna be thrown at his units here. So the Walker is now retreating, casting the one disenchant that he had, but he missed the Raider, so that is one unit kill secured there for ToD. Grubby's Blade Master is retreating as well, but he's got another Windwalk, so he's not in any serious trouble. And ToD just continues creeping for now. I mean, Grubby really needs some experience on those heroes if he wants to make a fight work eventually. As I said, the TC really thrives on high experience here. And that's why Grubby is going for one of the red camps right now. But, I mean, ToD's heroes right now also gaining great loads of experience. Guess if he creeps his entire camp, both of them will probably end up on level 3. Both of the players, by the way, sitting at about 50 supply. Level 2, excuse me, right now reached on the TC. Level 3 reached on the Blade Master. What was the item here? Rune Bracers. Not all too terrible against the MK. And the casters, I mean, the casters aren't really dealing all too much damage here, but the Bolt certainly quite a threat here. Especially given that there is no heal wave available on the side of Grubby, who should of course be staying on tier 2, which is exactly what he's doing. Going for the next red camp. Blade Master in the meantime is scouting. Some Claws of Attack, by the way, picked up by ToD, who's given that to the IEM. Sits at the shop, didn't buy anything though.
Our town is under siege.
Right, ToD still wasn't able to rebuild the Arcane Vault, so no breaker production for him currently. And Vamp Aura for the TC. So that is of course really helpful. So level 3 for him in the meantime. Mountain King and IEM both are level 3 as well. So all 4 heroes pretty much evenly leveled here. Another creep camp taken by ToD, Wand of Mana stealing this time. Got an Invul Potion on the Mountain King, a Greater Heal Potion on the Mountain King. So that one is looking quite unkillable. Preempt of Vitality as well. Meantime, Talisman Alleviation sold immediately by the TC. The Hume is coming in. I don't think Grubby is by any means able to take this fight. Let's see if one of the units is dying here. It looks like the answer to that is no. But ToD may be able to secure the next red camp for himself. And Grubby is going for the sneaky expansion here on the other side of the map. So currently he can definitely not fight. And I don't think that this will go unscouted forever. But if somehow Grubby manages to get that Great Hall up, then ToD is definitely going to face quite a bit of hit and runs here. Grubby is going for the first one of those immediately here. Doesn't have a speed scroll on the TC. The Blade Master has a speed scroll as well as a scroll of Town Portal. ToD is going to be forced to Town Portal here in just a second. I do not believe that this one has been scouted just yet. But he is actually, oh no, he turned around so closely before scouting, uses the Town Portal back, and of course Grubby is Town Portaling as well, has no intention of taking a fight here. Town Portal's out, and this clearly should show ToD already where Grubby wants to take this game. Hit and runs, yeah, Scout Farm, okay, not built by ToD here. Hit and runs by Grubby, some, making some use of the Shockwave here, but that only makes sense if Grubby is going for an expansion in the meantime. And I guess ToD should be quite actively scouting for that soon. By the way, both of the players have broken the 50 supply cap already. Both of them are in low upkeep. Grubby is going to be securing the last red camp for himself. So getting 3 out of the 4 red camps here, that is not to be underestimated. Keep in mind he only has these 2 items because he was able to get both the spawn positions at the top of the map. I mean, ToD on the other hand got... Did he get all 4? I'm not really sure who got this one, to be honest. Yeah, ToD got this one as well. So ToD got all 4 of the consumables in the middle of the map. Has sold one of them. Still has these 3 on his Mountain King. And he's continuing to scout for the expansion. And I guess he's going to find it sooner rather than later. But if he decides to creep here, then maybe the expansion is going to be finishing. And keep in mind that the damage output of breakers and casters against fortified building armor is quite terrible. So if Grubby gets this expansion finished and then starts doing hit and runs, yeah, then ToD might find himself in some trouble. Both of the players have leveled their heroes quite well. Double level 4 on the side of ToD, and on the side of Grubby, level almost 4 on both of the heroes as well. Looks like we're gonna see a fight here though. ToD with a bolt on one of the raiders here. Clap is coming in as well. The Blade Master is out of position. Grubby in quite a terrible position to start this fight. Speed scrolling away right now for a little bit at least. Kodo Beast has to start running as well. One raider has been taken down here. But Grubby has won the time that he wanted to win for his expansion. The Blade Master is getting a town portal, I guess. Yes, getting a town portal. He still has no intention of fighting here. Another grunt is falling. A couple of reinforcements are called off. The militia are quickly retreating as the TC is getting into position for a shockwave. One breaker has fallen here, and the town portal out has been used for the orc player. The downside of this, of course, with these particular spawn positions is that it is pretty easy for ToD at this point to take the fight to Grubby, to take the fight to the orc base. And with both of the players having extremely good hero levels and pretty gigantic armies, the towers shouldn't make or shouldn't impact a fight nearly as much as they would have shortly after both of the players have reached tier 2. So given the, demanding position that, at least demanding fighting position that ToD is in currently, he might just be able to force a fight here in front of the Orcs main. But keep in mind, this isn't like a totally won fight by default for ToD. He still needs to micro as best as he can and not start the fight by immediately being forced to use the invul on his Mountain King, who was totally out of position here. Blade Master and a couple of raiders charging forward. The first shockwave has come in by the Orc player. There are 2 heal scrolls on the side of ToD. Another caster has been picked off, and this fight is starting beautifully for Grubby. Greater mana push used by the Mountain King already. The breakers are trying to get some damage dealt onto the TC, who is finally out of mana right now. And is ToD finally gonna start getting some units killed? A walker has fallen right now. The Blade Master is taking more and more damage, has to use his Immo potion as well. Keep in mind, Grubby doesn't have a town portal here, so he really is not gonna have too much of an easy time disengaging here if need be. The next raider of the Orc has fallen, and it seems like maybe slowly the fight could be shifting into ToD's favor, but ToD has lost the majority of his casters as well, so there's not gonna be unlimited numbers of slows available forever here in this fight, which continues being quite chaotic. 2 walkers are gonna be taken down here, but at the same time the majority of the human forces has been picked apart as well, and it is actually ToD who is disengaging here at the end of the day. And I think, yeah, still quite a successful fight for Grubby. It was looking for a moment like it may be shifting slowly in the humans' favor, but too many casters had already fallen, so ToD wasn't really able to sustain the fight for a longer period of time, as the human players usually want to do in this particular matchup. Another Kodo is going to be falling here. But yeah, Grubby has definitely gotten a better fight than, well, perhaps he would have if ToD had been positioned properly. Now that the MK has to use his big heal potion as well. The Blade Master is dealing tons of damage here. MK has to retreat. The breakers, well, somewhat semi-great position. The town portal has to be passed, and ToD has to disengage here. Once again, Grubby holding successfully. And keep in mind, this is basically Grubby seizing map control, if you will. He has survived the fight that should have been the extremely difficult one for him to survive, and now, as both of the players are well, to say it from Grubby's perspective, are at least similarly matched if Grubby isn't even ahead already on the battlefield. Now he is in a position where he can just sit back and work with his expansion backing him up. So ToD definitely a little bit over eager here to get a fight happening. Having his army pretty fast stretched out, having to burn the invul potion on his Mountain King there quite early on. But, you know, don't count out ToD here by any means, of course. He still has 54 supply. He's got a level 5 MK. He's got an AM, which is about to reach level 5. He just lost the majority of his casters here, which should be the units that he should focus on rebuilding here. Oh wow, and ToD still hasn't officially scouted this expansion, by the way. But I mean, he must have a pretty strong clue. So still a bit of a level advantage on the side of the Frenchman. He's scroll for Grubby here. Heal potion on the BM as well. Only one protective item on the TC. But thanks to the rune bracers, he's not as vulnerable to the level 3 bolt of the MK.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
But yeah, of course, against the Mountain King, Grubby needs to be very aware of the hero-focused threat that is always available for ToD. So he's just basically camping out here. He's bringing a couple of peasants. It looks like he's going to be going, well, either for his own expansion or for some long distance mining. And the mains, by the way, have run dry. So ToD doesn't have any more gold income. So ToD really needs to make something happen. And Grubby is supply-wise already up by 9. Level 5 TC against these casters is quite big. ToD once again is engaging in quite an open area. Once again, not really the dream scenario for him. Bolt goes onto the TC, who doesn't really bother all too much here. Shockwave is coming in. Invis casted on to the MK. Speed core used by Grubby, who's going, yeah, what's he going for? For the casters. By the looks of it, the TC is charging forward. Next shockwave is coming in quite beautifully, and it looks like the town portal is going to be forced out of this AM here quite soon. The Blade Master is coming in, but doesn't get any damage done as the TP has been forced here at the end of the fight. Finally, 2 units killed by ToD as well, 2 of the Spirit Walkers. But that's another success here by Grubby. Just taking down 2 casters, forcing the invul, forcing the town portal. Just given that ToD has nearly no gold income, any trade that is anything but completely terrible for Grubby is good news for the orc. And it looks like finally, in just a second I imagine, finally the expansion is going to be scouted. But now ToD really needs to get some miracle done. He's got 3 sorcerers left, 2 priests. Okay, 4 sorcerers and building a 3rd priest. Yeah, now the peasant is retreating after having scouted the expansion. So ToD knows that the pressure is on. He's going to be able to get this walker killed by the looks of it. Another little pick off. Wow, doesn't even get in. Okay, now he gets in range for a slow. So this one should still be falling. Water metal sent up here to harass. Grubby doesn't even bother taking it down. Let's just quickly take a look. The other Blade Master could use some more experience for level 5. Okay, now the water metal is going to be taken down.
We're under attack.
So he could harass some more here. Shouldn't get overly greedy though. Doesn't want to get caught in an awkward position with his army when the Blade Master isn't there. But he's already getting into position to defend against this push, which... this is it basically for ToD, do or die. If he wins here, then he may win the game. If he loses this fight, then it's definitely over. He does not carry a town port, by the way, and the AM doesn't have any protective items, so he's gonna have to be very, very careful with the positioning of his first hero. The Mountain King is carrying the invul potion. 66 supply still for Grubby. By the way, 0-1 upgrades for him. I guess ToD doesn't have any upgrades. I'm assuming he doesn't even have a blacksmith. Another water metal sent in here for some harassment. Grubby repositioning. Maybe this is the chance for ToD to come in from the bottom, get some slows in, get maybe an awkward positioning of these well, ranged units of Grubby, but yeah, he's not really making a great mistake in terms of positioning his units here. To bolt onto the Mountain King, he's really trying to go for the hero focus here, which may be his best chance. Shockwave is coming in, one of the sorcerers is falling, the Blade Master is chopping apart the second one. The Breaker's repositioning, he's trying to get his casters somewhat into safety. The TC is standing very passively in the back. It's just gonna come in for a shockwave here and there. I imagine the Blade Master is focused next. He's got plenty of good items though. Invo Potion used, Heal Potion used. Also still has a Town Portal. Next shockwave has come in. Both of the Orc heroes really have to be careful. This is the big, well, maybe the win condition for ToD if he gets rid of these Orc heroes, but at the same time his IEM is taking some damage as well. Town Portal passed by Grubby repositioning himself here. At the same time, the last few casters are about to be picked apart. TC has to run towards the bottom though. MK still has mana for one more bolt. Another Raider is going to be taken down, but only one Priest, Breakers and the heroes remaining for ToD. No more slow, but Grubby has to be so careful with his heroes. Basically, the Blade Master and the TC both are out of this fight. Looks like he may be trying to go for the IEM. The Invo Potion is still available on the Blade Master. Keep that in mind. Both of the heroes are extremely low. The MK still has mana for the bolt, and he actually gets the Blade Master killed. He level 6 on the MK. And keep in mind, the Blade Master did have the Invo Potion still, but Grubby not reacting in time, losing his first hero. ToD at the same time is about to lose all of his remaining Breakers though, more or less. But I mean, it's only units left standing to fight for Grubby at the moment. MK has another bolt, could take down the... Okay, takes down the Raider, not the Walker here. Wants to get rid of Grubby's lockdown. Grubby rebought the BM though. Oh, did he use his Invo Potion already? Well then, sorry, I guess I missed that. So he didn't have an Invo Potion anymore. One more crit on the IEM and he's turning around for some reason. MK now with 75 mana, a little bit too late, and this IEM is not going to come back, and there is only 20 supply left standing on the side of ToD while the expansion is still running, and the game ends here. Grubby in quite a good game here is able to take the lead. Quite the cautious approach here, to say the least, getting 2 watchtowers inside of his base to defend against a tier 2 tower push, which ToD abandoned quite quickly. And then going into this hit and run kind of game, and I think the first major turning point in this game was when ToD missed the scout on Grubby's expansion by just a hair. And had he seen that, he would have been able to just very quickly cancel it and then Town Portal back. But Grubby managed to get that expansion up, basically untouched and unscouted for a while. ToD got a couple of pickoffs while Grubby was in this hit and run period where he just wanted to win time and maybe snipe units here and there, but not take a fight, wait for his economy advantage to come into play. And then ToD was definitely the favorite to win a fight, but I guess not by a gigantic margin, and he rushed into that fight at the left-hand side of the map a little bit too quickly. Grubby managed to get a very good position and managed to actually win the fight, and then he had an expansion and a slightly larger army than his opponent. ToD had to go all in against the expansion eventually. It got maybe a little bit closer than expected, but Grubby still able to hold the expansion, able to win the game, and therefore he is taking the 1-0 lead, and map number 2 will be Twisted Meadows.